What up, guys? Naturegirl 30 here, and I know I haven't really done these in a while because for the past 2 months I have been out of commission when it comes to the flu. And yeah, I was a little bit behind when it came to Andi Mack episodes, and I really wasn't in the mood to watch. But I was able to keep up with some of the episodes, and honestly, I had to talk about this episode that just passed. This one that passed in February, and this is the final episode of season 2 before season 3 starts in June. Cyrus's bash mitzvah. Finally, his bar mitzvah's here. All the party is about to begin, and not only that, a lot has happened on this episode. A huge amount of revelations have happened on this episode, and the biggest one, in my opinion, was definitely Jonah. Even though it felt like it was kind of left field, just throwing the whole panic attack angle in there just really did kind of feel left field. But I am not poo-pooing on anyone that has panic attacks. Everyone has had them, but a lot of people think that it's just for something like adults to have. Kids have them too, even teenagers. There's a lot of pressure that teenagers put on themselves to either be perfect, have friends, or not look like they have problems, and it actually does create a problem. It causes anxiety attacks or panic attacks, and it is fairly real and very, very scary. I've had some before. It's not fun to have. You literally feel like you're about to have a heart attack, and you do scare yourself. But honestly, I didn't really know what they were when I was going through it, and it took a friend to kind of point that out to me, that I actually was having a panic attack. He was a really great person to kind of help me through it. But everyone goes through it. And it's kind of nice for them to put that in there, because it shows that even children and even adults and also even teenagers, everyone goes through it. If you have a brain and you're able to think, and you also have ideas, and you also have feelings and emotions and, dare I say, hormones, you are going to go through something like that, something that Jonah went through. Now, for his character, do I still feel like it came out of left field? Yeah, because it kind of it's a polar opposite of who he is as a person, because he will go far beyond the Call of Duty to befriend somebody. But then it also kind of makes sense because he didn't connect with them in a romantic way because of the expectations that he throws on himself for him to be perfect, or for him to be a perfect boyfriend, or if he fails. And failure can make things even worse. But honestly, do I think that he's doing right by Andi? No, not by any means. I think he's pretty much using her in order to keep his panic attacks down, because he really didn't want to tell anyone towards the very end. And we also saw the previews of how before the previews, he went to Andi's house to ask her to be his girlfriend, even though he wasn't feeling it. Now, towards we actually did see a sneak preview of season 3, and it looks like it's going to be fairly interesting, because Andi really is not that into Jonah anymore. And I'm hoping that they don't go out, because I really do like what they did with Andi. They really made Andi not only realize that some of the things she's been doing has been hurting her and making her feel worse instead of happy. She also came to the realization that, hey, I was obsessed with you, but I didn't really get much out of it. You don't really see female characters from Disney that actually do think like that. You see these girls going far beyond the Call of Duty to get these guys to notice them. But she honestly has a brain when it comes to this. She knows that how she's been feeling is not normal and it's not healthy. And she really, actually, she saw someone that she was really interested in that had the same likes and dislikes as her with Walker. And I'm kind of rooting for Walker. I'm rooting for her and Walker to get together, because not only is Walker an artist, they have a lot of interests in common. So I'm hoping they actually do give her the chance to explore someone else besides Jonah Beck. And hopefully Jonah Beck will come to this resolve to where there's more to life than, well, the thing is not really more to life or anything. It's just that Jonah's pretty much using her to keep these anxiety attacks down, or to keep the panic attacks down. But I'm hoping that he does get help for him, his issue, and I'm hoping that he's able to come to some kind of resolve on how he's getting them and why. I'm hoping they do that with season 3. Now, the biggest thing, well, one of the biggest things besides Jonah's panic attacks was definitely the fact that Cyrus came out to Andi, and the way they handled it, I honestly thought it was pretty nice, but then it was kind of unrealistic because if you really think about it, the whole time that they were together, he was kind of pining for her boyfriend. I would be a little weirded out by that. Not so much of the fact that, you know, he's gay or anything, just the fact that my friend has been eyeing my boyfriend and wondering whether or not he's been trying to take him. I don't know. That's just me. Seriously, that's me being weird. But honestly, I really feel that she literally just treated him like, you know, I don't want to say a girlfriend, but like a friend that has had their heart broken before. But it's not really so much the fact that Cyrus was actually flirting with Jonah. And for me, I would probably see it that way if I was her age. She honestly saw it as Cyrus was literally brokenhearted by a guy that he liked that never noticed him for who he is. And she went through the same exact thing, going through everything to try to get Jonah to notice her. And it took her walking away for him to notice her. So they were in the same boat. And I think they took it in that way. Instead of him crushing on Jonah and talking about that, which I kind of wish they brought up. The fact is they saw each other as kindred spirits. They literally went through the same dilemma. And they honestly came together as friends. And I thought it was great. I really did. Now, besides the fact that Cyrus came out, we ended up having finally a revelation moment with Bex, because Bex is trying to be cool about the fact that she's okay with Bowie dating someone else. But it seems like that Bowie still has feelings for Bex, and Bex really has a lot of feelings for Bowie. And it came out because, you know, he was like, well, this is our prom. And I guess she didn't really have a chance to go because at the time she was probably pregnant with Andi. But the interesting thing is that they finally came together, and I really think that they do care about each other. But it has to take Bex to realize that, and I think that Bowie realizes that too. But I think Bowie actually does like Miranda, which actually causes a bit of an issue. Even though he tried to hide everything from Bex and from Andi, he didn't want to hurt him. But he really did bring up Miranda. He was like, I'm going to come around and talk to Andi about Miranda. And he gave her the note. But I wish I knew what more was on that note. And the fact that what brought Bex to tears, whether it was tears of joy or tears of sadness, you really didn't know what was in that note. And I'm curious to know what was in that note. I'm hoping that Bex and Bowie come together, but over time, not anything rushed. They have to realize how they feel about each other, but not to the point of marriage, just to the point to where they get to know each other again, because of course they were thinking about how, you know, back in the day, how they were as teenagers, but they never really had a chance to get to know each other as adults. So I'm hoping that it is somewhat of a slow burn for them. Miranda, I'm not going to paint her the villain. She shouldn't be painted the villain. I really do applaud this show for not doing that, because you know that some sitcoms or some shows like this, they always paint the other woman as the bad guy, and then they have the one that you really want them to be with as the good one, or as a good girl, and then you have the bad girl as the guy that he's actually seeing, the girl he's actually seeing. So I'm kind of happy they didn't paint a bad light on Miranda. And I'm hoping that somehow that Bowie realizes how he feels, and Miranda will tell him what he wants, or what she wants from him, because I really do see that Miranda probably wants to have another father figure in his daughter's life. That could be what she's looking for. Besides the fact that Bowie is a looker, someone nice to look at, she might be looking for a father figure to replace her, if they were married, I have no idea, to replace her daughter's dad. Maybe that could be the case. But I'm happy they didn't paint Miranda as the bad woman here. And I'm hoping they give her a little bit of a chance to season 3 so it can all feel like it's natural. Because they're just dating, it's fresh, it hasn't been that long. They can come to terms to what they really want and whether or not it works. So I'm hoping that they actually go that route. And it looks like they're going a good route here. Honestly, guys, I have a lot of positive things to say about season 2, and I didn't think I really would. I thought that I would have some bunch of negative things to say. There are some things that do kind of annoy me about this series, especially how everything is not in chronological order and it's difficult to tell what went where. But I will say that this final episode for season 2 was done fairly well, and I am looking forward to season 3, especially the fact that we see Amber, and Amber is actually trying to play nice. She went from heel to face, so that's something that actually makes me interested in watching more. But other than that, guys, I have made a decision that I am going to do probably a top 3, or maybe Or maybe I'll do things that I like about Andi Mack. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say, so it's kind of difficult to make it into 3, but it's still a working title in progress. But I am going to do somewhat of a countdown about this, or at least give you an idea on what I like and dislike about Andi Mack season 2, because I'm not going back and watching season 1. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to go into the season that I got into, and that's season 2. So I might do that a little bit later. But other than that, guys, leave your thoughts in the comments below about this episode that just passed. I really want to hear your thoughts about it, because I really have nothing but good to say about it. And now that it's been green lit for season 3, I'm wondering whether or not this will be the last and they'll have a really good closure here. But other than that, guys, I'm really excited about season 3, and I want to hear your thoughts about this final episode of season 2. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know how you feel, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.